Hello curious strangers and my lovely gems, it's your girl Crystal, and we are going to be shining the spotlight on my girl Monstera Adansonii, and this is what she looks like, otherwise known as a Swiss cheese plant, not to be confused with the Monstera deliciosa because that is that guy I just got back there. If you're a stranger here, hello, my name is Crystal, and I'm going to talk to you guys about planty things here on this channel, things that pertain to natural hair care, and sometimes how to build a cake in the back. I don't speak in code, I don't get the coin. If you find yourself enjoying this video at any point in time, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to this channel with all notifications so you can stay addicted like the rest of us. If you guys are interested to see the steps I've taken to grow this thing as big as it is, then keep on watching. So I'm a proud mother of 2 of these babies, and neither of them look like they're slowing down on me anytime soon. So I can safely say that from my experience so far, these have been really easy plants. So I don't think you have much to worry about, but I'm still gonna share some things that might end up killing your girl if you're not careful. So let's get into it. There are 2 forms of this plant. There's the narrow form and the round form. And I have 2 of the round forms, but the narrow form looks so cute. The lighting for the Monstera Adansonii is going to really appreciate more bright, medium, and direct light. From my experience, I had mine up on the shelf that I showed you guys in my plant tour, which if you missed it, click on the card and you can watch it later. I had it up there for the longest, and I recently moved it over here behind me, and it gets a lot of bright and direct sunlight. And I think that that's really what it prefers. You just want to be careful not to have your Adansonii too close to the windows, especially if it's a west or south facing window where the sun gets really harsh during the afternoons. Yeah, that's gonna burn and scorch that thing, and we don't want no well done, crispy fried, leaves. And I also should note I have east facing windows, and they're pretty large enough to give in light for like several feet well into the room. So I'm never worried about light in this living room of mine, at least. For example, guys, I had this particular Adansonii plant right by my window. You guys could see it in the tour I did. I since moved it here because if you can see here, there's some weird action happening. I don't know if that's fungal or if it's because it was scorched by the light it was getting when it was too close to the window. So now it's here and not as close, but I'm gonna monitor it and see how it does. It definitely didn't start off as healthy as Ada did either. So that could also be another reason why it looks like this, but I just thought I'd share that with you guys. In terms of watering, do not keep this girl wet in between waterings, okay? She is not that type of lady, but I do think it helps to just make sure that if you are gonna dry her out really thoroughly between waterings, that it's not bone dry, like just enough to where your meter's like out on 1 or something. If you have a water meter or a moisture meter, definitely invest in one of those. You really want to make sure it is not super damp in there, because she'll start to yellow and you're gonna freak out, and then it's gonna be a whole thing, and I'm gonna have to come over and save your plant, probably take it from you because I want more plants. You just don't want that. Nobody wants that. I want that. I did experience some yellowing myself on one of my Adansonii. It wasn't a lot, but it was just a little bit when I first received it. So I changed out the soil that I was in and put it in some more hydrating soil. Y'all ever say a word and you're like, what the hell did I just say? And you play it back and you realize you said what you said, but it definitely sounds like another word. Yeah, I did that. I'm not saying hydrating, I'm saying high draining. If you're a heavy watering mama like me, then you're gonna wanna put her in some sort of terracotta. This pot, I think, is somewhat of it is a terracotta. Yeah, it is. Oh my God, I'm feeling it and I'm realizing that. So the other one isn't though, it's like in its nursery pot, and I noticed it's having a little bit of issues unlike this one. So invest in a bunch of terracotta pots and you'll be fine, just in case you have that one plant that won't sit in your cuter pot. Next way to not kill your Adansonii is to keep the humidity pretty high. I personally don't always have my humidifier on because I have electronics in the home and I'm always worried about them getting damaged or compromised. But every once in a while, I do make sure I have it on all night just so that they can really kind of enjoy the extra moisture in the air. These plants are native to Mexico, Central and South America. So in their deep jungles, they're gonna be a lot more grouping of plants and humidity, and so you can just imagine how big these things can get up to. Like 60 feet I think is how big they can grow, and the more you can recreate their natural environment, the more likely they can grow that big. You can mist it, but I've heard different things about misting, if it works or if it doesn't work. I don't know. If that's all you got though, then fine, you know, just use a pebble tray too. I hear that works as well, or keeping a cup of water nearby. Grouping plants together also helps increase humidity. Keep the room temperature above 60 degrees Fahrenheit if you can. I've heard that they don't really like really cold air. I don't know particularly what happens when it gets that cold, but I can imagine they start to get brittle, dry, and fall off. The leaves end up falling off. So if you notice the leaves are getting too tiny for your liking, then you can always just stick a moss pole in there to get them nice and juicy. But I am not using a moss pole for mine. I'm just using one of these bamboo stakes. I think I got this from a local nursery near my mom's place here in Dallas, but you can get, I don't know what I'm doing, guys, I'm sorry. You can get these at Callaway's as well. I just saw a whole bunch of them just next to each other by all of the other stakes, so just look for something like that. I swear, this thing is fighting my hair. Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go?
No, bitch!
You guys cool it. You'll need to calm down, okay? Jeez. Bonk. If you really want to see your Monstera Adansonii grow, you should really be fertilizing it. In terms of fertilizer, you definitely want to use something that's balanced. At least I use a balanced synthetic fertilizer. I personally try not to use synthetic fertilizer, but I already bought it. I definitely make sure it's heavily diluted. And if you just freshly got this Monstera Adansonii from, say, a nursery or a cellar somewhere, then it might be possible that the soil has its own slow release fertilizer. So you may not even have to fertilize it like that right away. It might take another 4 to 6 months. But honestly, I just started fertilizing as soon as summer hit because I just wanted to see what level I could take this to. And if it started to burn the leaves, then I was definitely gonna draw back and leach the soil. So far, so good. It looks really happy with me, so I guess I'm doing something right. So far, I have not experienced any pest issues with either of my Adansonii, thank God. Typically, neem oil is gonna be the best bet to get rid of them, whether it's fungus gnats, you know, spider mites, whatever you might have. There's so many homemade products that you can use to act as like a DIY pesticide that's more natural and safer for the plant, as well as the people living in your home. I can make a whole video about that if you guys want me to, so request it down below. You already know the deal. So like I said, these can get really, really tall and big if you repot them. If you don't repot them every year, then you're not gonna see that massive growth that it can really reach. Each year, inspect the root system, see how it looks. If it looks like it's root bound, then definitely repot it. But that's enough of this part of the video. I'm going to switch over to my kitchen and show you guys how I propagate this thing. I think she shivered when I said that. Okay, you guys, so in order to propagate, what we're gonna do first is taking your mother plant, which is your main plant you have all of these lovely leaves from, and you're gonna cut where the node is, but below it. That's gonna be where the root will form from once you propagate it, either in soil or in some other growing medium. Personally, my choice is always water because it's just easy for me. And I don't usually deal with issues with it, such as root rot or what have you. That's pretty much how I rooted this gnarly propagated cutting. I can't remember how long I've left this in my station for, but I'd say it's been in there for a while and it's kind of getting a little bit funky on the top, so maybe it needs some nutrients, which is why we're about to pot it up now into some soil. But before I pot up my propagated cutting, if you guys want to see me cut this in real time, we can use pretend.
Imagination.
I actually was gonna cut this for you guys, but then I thought, I don't really want to cut her right now. I think she's really happy as she is, so I'm just gonna show you guys where I would cut it if I was going to do another cutting and root it in some water. So typically you'll find that with the Adansonii, it grows like a vine. Vining plants have this main stem and then they grow a leaf and then they continue growing along that same path, grow a leaf, so on and so forth. Wherever a leaf is, it's going to have a node right underneath it. You can just cut both sides off, or if you're cutting from the top, you can just cut that one side and then plop it into some water. I just use tap water, guys. I don't use anything fancy, and I don't even always change it, and it's fine. It really is fine. But if you want, you can change it regularly. It does help with the oxygen levels that the roots are getting, and they need that. Once you cut it, you can either wait for the ends of the freshly cut tissue to callus over and then put it in, but honestly guys, I never do that. I just put it into the water and they always fare well. So if you guys want to speed up your root growing process, Something I realized is when you use these solid containers, as in the more opaque, the better, that somehow helps the roots grow a little bit more naturally in the rates they grow within the ground. I think it did make a difference with this particular cutting because this is like a good 2-3 inches. Oh my gosh. I usually just have cactus soil here. You can even use a mixture of different things. Like sometimes I will use this plus an organic fertilizer. Sprinkle that in a little bit. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in. Okay, that's good. Some worm castings in there as well as some cactus soil. So I'm just gonna mix that all up. This looks so funny. Like, stab, stab, stab. If you have a rooted propagated cutting or whatever, then you can use this to help further enhance the rooting system of your new plant friend, and that's what I'm gonna do. You really don't need a lot of this rooting hormone. I've seen people literally just do a dash of it in there, or you can just have it dipped like so and then put it in there. I usually do that method. Yeah, I didn't realize how crazy the roots were. It looks like a bug. This looks like a shrimp. No, it just looks like a bug. So now you got this frosted tip situation going on, and I'm just gonna put it inside. I'm just going to make sure the top is covered with enough soil. Yes, honey. She looks so cute. Also damaged, but mostly cute. That's how you do it. It's really simple. I'm gonna water it as well, set it aside to drain, and then put it somewhere cute where I think it'll grow and look even more beautiful. Propagation takes really nothing. I mean, you just set it and almost forget it, not quite, but that is usually how I do a lot of things, and it's worked out well for me. I might make a little update on this plant on my community tab. If you guys don't know about it, then know about it, but I do share a lot of posts on there here on this channel, so you don't gotta leave this website to check me out. Don't forget, guys, to follow me on Instagram, where I post lots of cute pictures and sometimes plants. I know you guys love the plants. Thank you for watching up to this point. Please give me a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you later.